Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel. Thank you so very much for joining me today. I am so excited to have you here. Oh, this has been a crazy couple of weeks. We have a lot going on with school and a lot of other things going on, and spring is around the corner. We're counting down, and I've been working in my outside greenhouse. We've been working in the yard. It has been amazing. I am so excited for spring. So today I just wanted to share with you some of my standout plants from the month of February. I had some, just that I was constantly staring at, and I just wanted to share them with you. So this will be a really quick video. I'll try to make it quick. I am going to start off with this beauty right here. It's right next to me, and oh, look at her. This is my philodendron marks, and this is the exact plant that Carol sent me, and this plant is growing so quickly. It is even upsizing with the leaves that it came with. It is so beautiful. The leaves were not this big. Now, when I did a plant trade on Facebook Marketplace, I ended up, and you guys told me it's the same plant that I got from that person for the trade, but because these leaves were ripply, I thought this was something else, but these are just more mature leaves. This plant is so gorgeous. I love her so much. I stare at her all the time. I am constantly staring at this plant. Look at this new leaf that just came in. I think this is to date the largest size that it has unfurled for me, because that's a really big leaf, because they do grow a lot more after they're born. So I am really excited about her. She is so beautiful, and I feel as if I finally got the right spot for her, because I had her right on this shelf behind me because I didn't want her leaves to get scorched, so I put her one shelf down, and she was growing beautifully, but the top of her wasn't getting any kind of leaves. It was just coming out on the side. But then the minute I put her actually right over here, it's a little bit further down, but the light is above her, she started growing from the top up. And so she looks a lot more full, and these leaves are now up, whereas before they were hanging down. So I'm really excited about this. This plant makes me so very happy. Oh, I love this plant. I do. I love, love, love these leaves. They're just so pretty. They're simple, they're understated, but I just think they are so incredibly beautiful, especially since they grow so quickly. And they come in this beautiful green color, this bright neon-y green color. I love that. So this is plant number one, and she is in the same mixture that Carol sent her in. The mixture is super chunky, and so I get to water her down, and I just put her in the shower, let the water run through her, and she's just so happy. I love this plant. Yay. Next, I'm going to go to a couple of rescues. And the first rescue was a plant that I wanted for so long, and I found it in Lowe's. And I'm going to show you the leaf that was her latest leaf. This is it right here. And when I got her, she had a crack in the leaf, but then I held on to it for a really long time, and now it's gone. The rest of the leaf started to break down, but that's been well over a year. So she held on for a long time. Everything above this leaf is all new growth, and I love her. Her nodes are extremely tight and close together, and so she's really top heavy. I'm not really sure how I'm going to deal with that. I don't think she will go without support. I don't necessarily want to stake her up, but I think that she needs some type of a support system. Now, originally I wanted to trim the top of her because I thought her leaves were going to continue to get really white, and I didn't want to lose the plant. But now she's balanced out to these beautifully variegated leaves. This one right here is, wow, I can't see. This one right here is amazing. I love that little spot of green on her. But all of the leaves are so beautiful. The mixture of the leaves is just absolutely beautiful, and I am not disappointed at all. I wanted this plant so badly, and I found this little rehab, and she is now doing so well. She did sit outside last year for the spring and summer, and I think I'll leave her inside for this year. I don't think I'll put her back outside. So she will not be going outside. I don't think I will put this one outside either. I think I will keep them inside because I really like them sitting in this area, but the shelves in this area are not that tall, so I have to be careful. Like this Summer Glory, Philodendron Summer Glory, it's getting huge. Look at this. It's getting huge, and it's really difficult for me to fit it in this space now because it's getting so incredibly big. And I want it to stay in here because this is a plant that could take the air conditioning in the summertime, because in the summertime we have air conditioning on in here. So I can't have like all of my alocasia and everything. They can't be in here. I've already started transferring them out, but I want my philodendron to stay in here in anything that possibly can. Okay, next, another rehab. That's so funny. Another rehab plant that I shared with you in the past is this beautiful aglaonema. I still don't know the name of this plant. I believe someone shared it with me, but I can't remember the name of this plant. I know that I love her. When I got her in the beginning, I thought she was a frosted ghost, but she's not. This is a lot darker than the frosted ghost. The frosted ghost is definitely extremely frosty and chilly-like, and this one is not. So this is one of my favorite aglaonema, and she is so very low maintenance. She really, really, really is a low maintenance plant, and this was a plant that I ended up potting up in a really tight pot just to see if it would thrive, if it was like really confined, and it definitely has. I removed the little netting pots that were on the base, and she's doing really, really well. I love the leaves on this plant. That bright neon green veining going through her is just scrumptious. It is so beautiful. I love that so much. And I do neglect this plant, and that's why it's still doing well, because I tend to be that Looney Tunes character that's gonna love him and kiss him and hug him and kill him up. So yeah, love that plant. She's another gorgeous one in my collection, and I love her. Okay, next I have a really nice surprise plant, and she's a rehab from me because I did something to her. So this is a mixed pot of plant, and I'm of course always on the hunt for anything that doesn't belong. So this is a mixed pot of plant, and this is a dragon scale alocasia. I believe this is dragon scale. It doesn't have its color yet because these just opened, but this is a dragon scale alocasia, and I thought all of these corms in here were dragon scale, but then I got this one to come out and at first I thought it was my lowrider that I don't have anymore, but it's not, because the lowrider does not have this zebra-like stem. This is my brancifolia that I lost a while ago, and I think now that this is growing, because this is growing all the way down here behind me on the bottom shelf, it's getting very, very, very soft lighting, and I have found that my dragon scales do not like to have a lot of light, and they were stretching really long, not because they wanted more light, but because they were trying to get away from the light. So I put it on the bottom, and all of these things just started sprouting out, including this brancifolia, which these plants have been in here. The corms were in here for quite some time, but they weren't sprouting. I put them in that darker space. It's very warm because there is a heating vent back there. And then I have my humidifier right over here. I don't know if you can see the humidity coming out. But so it was in a dark, not dark, but a dappled light area with warmth and humidity. And this is what I got. I was so excited to see this thing come up because I was brokenhearted about losing my brancifolia, because I drove for 45 minutes to buy that plant. Yep, there was a shop that was 45 minutes away from me that had one, and so I went and I picked it up, and then I killed it. I overwatered it and oversunned it because it was right in the direct sun. Next, I have two more, and one of them is a plant that I shared with you in a plant spotlight quite some time ago. And this is my pilea peperomoides. This is one of my oldest plants, and I love her. I love this plant so very much. It sits on a shelf in my sun window, in my south-facing sunny window, and I love her. She has so many babies growing inside of her. I put her in this, I believe this pot right here is designed for like cactus arrangement, but when I put her into this low pot, she just started to have a different growth pattern. Whereas before, when she was in more of a tall, kind of a more slender pot, she was just growing up. Then I put her into this one and she fit the pot. And I love this. It looks so beautiful on the shelf. I love it so much. She gives me no troubles. She doesn't like to have wet feet. And so with this plant right here in this terracotta pot, it's perfect. There's not a whole bunch of soil underneath her roots, but then at the same time, if there was too much water in here, the pot would just wick it away. So I'm really happy about her. She's beautiful from the front. And guess what? She's beautiful from the back. Look at this. Look how gorgeous she looks even from behind. She's just all around beautiful. Any way you look at her, she is just, I tell you, any way you look at her, she is just beautiful. I love this plant. Oh. And because she's one of the oldest plants in my collection, it just makes it all that more sweet. I purchased this one from Trader Joe's, and I tell you, I love her. So she came from Trader Joe's. The Aglaonema came from Lowe's. The Birkin came from Lowe's. And my burrow marks came from Carol. And then my alocasia, I believe those were finds that I got from the Home Depot. Okay, I have one more, and this is another Trader Joe's purchase that I made quite some time ago. It's been well over a year for this one as well. I'm trying to get the strength to lift it up. It's in a heavy pot, and then it's a big plant. Ooh, don't break. Don't break. No. Okay. Okay, I have to lift it up over. Okay, let's see if I can get this in the screen. This is my alocasia poly. Yeah, she's gorgeous. She's gorgeous, guys. She's gorgeous. I love her. I love her so much. It took me a long time to figure out how to keep this plant happy. Very long time. I found that with this plant, it does not like to dry out, but at the same time, it does not want its feet to be wet. So you can, if you don't find the balance for her, this plant will rot so quickly. I had so many rotted leaves. I mean, rotted plants of this one right here. And I just kept trying because they're readily available. It's something that I just had to keep trying. And for this one, what I did was I put it into a terracotta pot. And if you look at, I'm going to try to not to tip everything out, but if you look at her soil mixture, she's got a super chunky soil mixture. There is some soil in here, but a lot of it is orchid bark. And then I have some leca and I have some stones and everything else to make it super chunky. Because number one, this plant will get spider mites if you do not wash it down all the time, put it into the shower, keep the plant nice and moist. And the other thing that I've learned to keep the spider mites away from this plant, if this plant has an ailing leaf, I immediately cut it off. I do not let the ailing leaves stay on my alocasias, but this one in particular, as well as my stingray, if there is an ailing leaf on one of these plants that get spider mites a lot, I just immediately cut it off, because if you don't cut it off, it it draws, it sounds a beacon for your plant, and then you can't get rid of them. So far I've been doing really well as far as keeping the spider mites away from this plant. I have one that has spider mite damage, one leaf, and this is the oldest leaf on this particular plant. There are 3 plants in this pot. So this is the one that's holding on, and this is the one that tells me I need water because it starts to droop. So I watered it yesterday. It hasn't fully gone back up, but do you see how big that leaf is? That is a big leaf. And I love her. This one right here hasn't completely unfurled yet. And then I have a new leaf right in the middle on another plant. These 2 plants just put out leaves, and then, oh, and I see that they have another one coming up right behind it. Springtime is here. Yay, countdown. So yes, this is a beautiful plant, but you can't let it have any issues that where it's ailing in one of the leaves, because it will sound a beacon for someone to come for lunch with all of their children and their friends, their workmates, people they don't even like. They'll come and they'll stop munching on your plant. So if you have a leaf that is ailing, I'm not talking about one that has damage. I'm talking about one that looks like it's always on the way out, or it's almost on the way out. It's just best to cut it off. This one right here, it may, if it doesn't straighten up on its own, I'm going to cut that leaf. But right now it's a very, very strong leaf, and so I'm not going to cut it right now. But anything further that it goes through, it will be cut off. I haven't had any problems with this, and I don't want to start having any of them. So yes, I love this plant, and the veining on the back of this plant. This is a very common plant, but when you really get a chance to look at it, it is just amazing. I know that some of them have white veining that shows through on the front, and I was hoping that that would happen with my plant, but maybe that's just a different variation, because to say the least, these things are bred in homes and everything else, and so to me, sometimes it could just be a different variation, and it's just not separated, you know? But anyway, it's beautiful just the way it is, and I'm really happy with her. Sometimes the more common plants don't get, they don't really shine as much with people, but I know this one right here, when you get the opportunity to keep it alive and happy, it is just so rewarding. And I think that one right there is just like, it's a treasure to me. So I don't think I have anything else that I was going to share with you. Oh, I know, I want to show you my jacklyn, excuse me. Now this one, you see she has this ailing leaf, and she has this one that's yellowing. These are coming off. I was trying to wait until this one right here has a leaf coming in. I was trying to wait, but I think I will at least cut this one off now, because I just love the way this looks so. But this leaf right here is going to have to come off, because this is a beacon for something to come and get her, because she's going down, so she's easy eats. So she will definitely be cut off, because I want all of the energy to go into this part of the plant. And then once this leaf puts out the new leaf, I'm going to cut this one as well. Both of these leaves came on the plant, and so they've definitely worked it out for the plant, but I'm going to cut those off. I may even cut this one time, because I don't want, this one is prone to spider mites from other people. That's what I've heard. And so I don't want to give this a chance at being a beacon in my home. So I will definitely, I don't have clean shears. I have shears here, but they're not clean. And I think that last plant that I cut with them had a little bit of, it had a little mold in the soil, so I don't want to use them. But I think I will end up cutting the 2 of those off, so that this new plant, this new leaf coming in, gets all of the energy. And this one is nice and big. It has more than enough energy stored to produce a nice leaf out of there without any problems. And to say the least, nobody needs to have to produce a leaf when you have a bunch of spider mites on you. So this is another one that is in an extremely chunky soil, extremely chunky and gravelly. It's just something that's very, very, very happy and airy. And because it's so happy and airy, I keep it over a reservoir of water. Love it. So that's it, guys. That is all that I have for you today. These are my standout plants for the month of February. I am a little bit late with this because it's just been so busy. It really has been. I appreciate your patience, and I am so happy that you had the opportunity to come today. So please don't forget to tell me your standout plants for the month of February, or for just right now. I would really appreciate it. I always love hearing the plants that you are favoriting right now. So thank you again for joining me. I look forward to talking to you in the next video. I have a really big plant I need to repot, and I have been putting it off for months now. And so I said, maybe if I do it with you, I will feel motivated to do it. I'm really in my feelings about this plant in particular because it has no leaves, but it's regrowing. And so I really wanted to repot it and cut it with you so that I will feel motivated and not feel overwhelmed at the fact that my 3-year-old, not feel overwhelmed with the fact that my 3-year-old plant is like bald on the top now. It's like, when it happened, baby. Okay, so thank you for your time, and I look forward to talking to you in the next video. Happy pre-spring, guys. Bye.